Ladies and gentlemen, it's still your street gang, David and
Miriam.
yes, and we are talking about Abuja now. As it happen, you know they happen for your side.
It happen for my side, man.
So, waiting be your name, bros.
My name is Francis. So
Now you want to do call? You want to talk?
I want talk. I dig him.
You are a driver, or you are a mechanic, or you are a car washer. What do you do?
I'm a driver. I work basically from the airport.
Okay.
An airport driver. I work from the airport. I work from town to the airport. I work from the airport to the town.
You don't do round town?
No, I don't do round town. I'm basically airport driver.
Okay, so how is business?
Business is going well.
Okay.
Yes, business is going well. I work under fan taxi. We use fan taxi app in the airport.
Yes.
We use alongside Bolt and Uber, but most of the times we prefer the fan taxi because we work within the environs of the airport, so we prefer the fan taxi at the airport.
So is it because of using multiple apps that you have so many phones with you, or you are just a big boy?
Not really a big boy, but you know that once you are prepared for business, you get ready for business. So I'm on a business ground now. So I'm prepared for business. That is why I have multiple phones.
So what is the difference between Uber, Bolt, and Fan Taxi? Because you mentioned that you work for the three companies, but here in the airport, are there restrictions for the usage of Uber and Bolt in the airport?
Yeah, not really. There are not really restrictions from using Uber and Bolt from the airport, but the airport, what we know in the airport now basically is fan taxi, because once you want to operate from the airport, you must have this app called fan taxi before they will allow you access to the park, to pick from the park, to enter the park and leaving the park. You must have.
We are at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport to interact with the drivers, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, boat drivers at the local parking wing.
My name is Emmanuel Madumere.
Okay, Emmanuel Madumere.
Yeah, Emmanuel Madumere.
What does that name mean?
Well, Emmanuel means God with us.
No, the other one.
The other one. Well, it's an Igbo name. It's an Igbo name. It's a surname, and Madumere is a kind of. It's an effort of man.
Okay, like I said, where the activities are going on, there are drivers zooming in and out. That one is going to pick a passenger. Am I not correct?
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct.
Is this what you do every day?
Literally, that's what we do every day, because the airport is arranged in such a way that when you come to the airport, you don't just dash into the airport and start picking up your passengers. Okay. This place is called local, the local part of the airport, where drivers come to take their turns. You come and register your number according to who came first. So when it is your turn, they call your number, then you dash into the airport and then start waiting for a request. Okay. That is how it is done. We don't just come into the airport, dash into the airport, loading bay, and begin to pick passengers.
So what is your everyday life like? What time do you wake up?
It's very, very stressful, sir. I must confess, it's very, very stressful. We wake up as early, like today I woke up as early as after 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Yes, after 3 in the morning. And most of us, sometimes we don't even get to go home. Yes, because going home, some of us that live very far away, like people that stays in Buari.
Where do you stay precisely?
Stay in Buari local government, yeah, Buari. Yeah, so sometimes before you wake up and then try to come into the town, the time of getting your request that will bring you to airport would have gone, and you end up waiting. Like some of us who don't do, majority of the people you are seeing here does not do town service work. Okay. We only do precisely airport work. Okay. And that airport, for you to get that airport, you need to come out very early in the morning for you to get your first trip, so that you could also be able to join the queue here to get another trip, so that precisely at the end of the day you should be able to run like 2 or 3 trips. If not, if you get the first airport late to come to the airport, you may not do more than 2 trips per day, and it affects our economic power at home.
Okay, would you say business is good?
Not really, not like before. Business is not flowing. It's not flowing, especially with the introduction of fan taxi at the airport here, and then with the presence of the car hire and the fan taxi, our activities are being hampered here.
That means competition is very high.
A lot of competition.
Do you understand what he's talking about, Miriam?
Yes, to some large extent, because sometimes I do this as a side hustle too. But then I'm confused here about, you say fan taxi, Uber, car hire. Can you please help us to expatiate? We don't really understand. Is there a difference between fan taxi, Uber, boat, and all of that?
A lot of difference. Yeah, the fan taxi the fan taxi is a group of people that just came in about last year. They weren't here before. Yes. They came in about last year with their own app Okay, and right now they are the one dominating the airport. They are the one in charge of the airport car parking space, and everybody that operates here operates under them. Both the car hire guys, it's like a kind of buying the franchise of the car park from the airport authority, and then whatever that happens at the airport happens at their own condition, terms and conditions. Okay, so now the car hire guys operate under them. They are totally different.
Yes.
The boat guys are the guys that they are the e-hailing people. We operate using the app.
Yes.
Okay. The fantasy also operate using the app, but the app is not functional. It's not functional. But the car hire guys are the guys that goes manually to source for their passengers. That's just the difference.
Okay, now, do you think there's some form of competition there, and do you think there's a friction? Is there something that is causing tension, or you think all is going well?
Well, all is not really going well because before the advent of boats at the airport, the car hire guys were the ones operating at the airport.
Yes.
They are the original people that were operating. So when boat guys came, and when they were operating, they have their price base they were operating, and they have their own methodology they were using to operate. But when the boat guys came into the scene, they become like a competition to them, because boat was going at a reduced price, thereby taking away their passengers from there, and they didn't want it, because before they even came around, they had to pay some kind of subscription fee to the airport management. So now, after paying the subscription fee, and they were no longer getting the passengers, because the passengers were now flooding towards the boat guys.
Yes.
So that created a tension, a competition, and then the competition that created a tension, and then there was this envy against the boat guys that you guys are coming to take our passengers. You understand? So that created a kind of a gridlock between the two parties, and ever since then it has not been.
Ask again. You spoke about fan tags, you spoke about boat, you said the challenge here was from my own understanding.
Yeah.
You said the Uber and boat came in, and then there was this competition, and then you said there was this introduction of fan taxi into the picture. The fan taxi came in. So I'm asking, is your threat or your worries with the fan taxi or with the boat and Uber drivers?
No, our worries is actually with the fan taxi, because initially when you come to the airport, the moment you drop your passengers, you drive automatically into the car park, and then you on your app, you go online, and then you start waiting for your passenger, or for your phone to ring, or for you to get a request. But these days it is not like that, because the car park is meant to contain a certain number of drivers or a certain number of cars. So everybody that comes to the airport does not flock into the car park, because that will make the place very congested. So what they do, in order to create space inside the car park, when you come, you first of all after you drop your passengers, you come here and register for your turn. Okay, so
it's not about the app again.
It's no longer about
and then about the quick one, sorry. So I'm not saying, because you can pick somebody in the loading bay. Why don't they make it in such a way that once you get your request, as usual it used to happen, you drive back to the loading bay and then pick your passenger and then give them their usual 500 naira? Why is it that when you get a request, they make you to cancel it and come back to the loading bay to write your number?
Yeah, because according to them, they say they want to regulate. Now they are giving more privilege to the people inside the car park and lesser privilege to the people outside of the car park, because they want the people inside the car park to first of all exit the car park before a new people can come in. You understand? Because they believe that by the time the people from outside keep coming in to come and carry the passenger, then the people that are already inside the passengers will not be able to pick passengers and leave.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And this conversation will keep going on. We'll be visiting you from time to time. You spoke so eloquently. What is your level of education?
Wow. Like I said, my name is Emmanuel Madumere.
Yes.
Well, I'm just a HND holder. I just stopped at HND. Yeah.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, most of you feel boat drivers, taxi drivers, Uber drivers are layabouts, are dropouts. Here is an interesting scenario where we are discussing with an HND holder. He could be a boss or a manager in any office. He's eminently qualified. So don't just look down on any driver that picked you, that he's a nobody. You know, he's doing an honorable job. Yes.
It's also interesting to know that amongst us we have medical doctors.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. Among us we have one of our lady here is pursuing her PhD right now as we speak. I've forgotten her name. She's dark in complexion. She's using a Toyota Camry Spider. She's as we speak.
Is she around?
No, she's not around now. She's not around.
Challenges. Do you have challenges with your customers, your passengers?
Yes. When you speak about the business generally.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying what you're doing?
So honestly speaking, we wish there were other alternatives.
Okay.
Personally, I wish there were other alternatives, because like a grown-up man like me, a family man, having to wake up very early, like 3:30, coming to start hustling for passengers, and then sometimes you don't even get to sleep at home. Like I said, it takes you away from your family. It is not easy. Your family don't get to enjoy the ambience of your presence at home. You understand me? So it's not easy. It's difficult. And then some of us here, we are not privileged to own the car ourselves. We drive for people. So before you make up the money for the owner of the car per week and then fix the car, buy fuel and other things, by the time you start struggling for takeaway money,
yes,
there's nothing.
I feel you, bro.
So sometimes when we even get the passengers, we plead to them to be able to add something on top of the money they are seeing on the app, because the money they are seeing on the app is not commensurate with the amount of effort, the fueling we are putting in, sir. Honestly, how we could wish that the authorities concerned will be able to raise the money so that by the time they remove their percentage from the app, there will be should be able to be left with something else.
By authorities concerned, who are you referring to?
The boat guys, the Uber, yes, okay. the app people. Yes. You understand? Because imagine driving all the way from here to town, which is about 34 kilometers or thereabout. That on the kind of car I use, it takes you close to 7 to 8 liters of fuel.
Yes.
And then they remove their 25%, and they say you should collect 5,001.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the fantasy guys, the same trip, the same destination, collects 8,000 naira. But the app will say you should collect 5,001. And then you pay 500 naira before you exit the car park at the gate.
You are paying another 200.
Then you pay your entrance, you are paying another 200 naira to enter. That's you have already removed 700 naira from the money. Then they still take away 25% from the app. So how much is left?
Ladies and gentlemen, many of you, in fact, I'm short of words because I never knew this background. I didn't have an idea things like this go on and people are going through this kind of challenges. Miriam, do you have an idea of this before? What do you have to say about this experience?
Thank you. It's been a frustrating one. I actually, for some of us who just do it as a side hustle, and then for them who are doing like full-time job, is really taxing. For me, I'll keep praying and appealing that the authorities and the people concerned address these issues, because there's so much tears. Do you understand? I do it, so I actually feel what he's feeling. Actually feel it. But I think maybe the government needs to intervene too by giving higher purchase to drivers. I think, to be very honest, the Uber driving business is a lucrative business if you are doing it, especially if you have your own car. But most of them here are using it on weekly remittance, which is high. Even car owners, some collect as high as 40,000, 30 and 40,000. How much? And then the drivers are made to repair their cars by themselves. Do you understand? And then it's really frustrating. So maybe the government needs to intervene, or individuals who have NGOs, please, you can come and intervene. Please come pass through. He is also a leader here. You can pass through a lot of leaders. Then you can contact David or I, who will come and will get in contact with these people. Give them cars on hire purchase. They will drive to own this car. I think that's the best way out of this thing, because it's really frustrating.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. You spoke so eloquently, and you'll be live on YouTube, and so you can even visit to see yourself talking about this business you love doing so much. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to our YouTube channel, keep in touch, and we'll bring you more street life. Abuja now.
The person I interviewed earlier, he said you can't get a request from here and go to the loading bay to load. You have to wait for your turn, which we saw the activities going on behind there. That's where you write your number, you write everything before you get this request in the loading bay. So what is the arrangement for the request with the fan taxi? Do you go there to meet them and pay some amount of money, or what do you actually do for you to be able to get a fan taxi request?
You actually wait here for your turn. Then when it's your turn, you go to the car park. So when you go to the car park, you can now on your Fantasy app and wait for the request. But most of the time, it takes longer because the request comes manually.
Yes.
So most of the drivers are now forced to use Bolt and Uber. And the price for Bolt and Uber is low compared to what Fantasy are charging. So if it was the same, it will have really helped a lot. And secondly, there is percentages you pay. Commission, you can't have commission for both, but Fantasy there is no commission at all. Whatever you pick, that is your own money. So the only thing you pay is 500 naira when leaving the gate via the app. And whether you get your request on Uber or Bolt, you have to pay that same 500 naira. Yes.
That is a big challenge. Then for now, what do we do to improve this in such a way that maybe the fan taxi app will start operating like Uber and Bolt, for you to be able to get all those requests? Since you say it's manually, I know it will be challenging. So what are your own suggestions for the improvement?
Personally, I feel they should upgrade their app so that riders can be able to request directly from the app without meeting anybody to place a request for them. And then on the other side, if Bolt and Uber can also improve their prices too, it also help us to work smoothly.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay connected to Abuja now as it is hot. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still at the Federal Airport Authority, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, and we are talking to
Mr. Samson Ajodo.
Mr. Sampson here is the one that washes cars within this community. For how long have you been doing this, Mr. Sampson?
I've been here for more than 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why did you choose to be washing cars?
Not that I really choose to wash car, but this is what I can lay my hands on now, for now.
Okay. So how is business like?
No, business is okay. We are just moving small, but the thing is not easy as we think, because life is not easy as before now. Because of the cashless policy, people come here, do transfer. Sometimes we see the transfer, sometimes we don't see it.
You don't have your own POS system?
We have POS. Some people choose to transfer than to use POS.
Okay.
Yes.
So I could see so many cars. Say that means business is booming. You are enjoying it, right?
Actually, it's booming, but it's not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
How early do you come here?
We came here something like 6:30. We are already here.
Okay. And then you already start seeing vehicles?
Yes, honestly. Even before we came, some vehicles are already waiting for us to come.
That means you are a good car attendant?
Yes.
Okay.
Averagely, how much do you take for each car?
Each car, we watch each car 500 naira.
Okay, is that good enough? You use detergents, you do have your own borehole. How do you source the resources that you need to take care of the vehicles?
Yeah, we have borehole here that the water is running 24/7, but the payment is not right, because the 500 naira cannot sustain us. We are married. There are most of us here that are married. We have 3 children, 4 children here. You understand? So that is how we manage life.
Averagely, how many cars do you watch in a day?
Well, sometimes we watch like 10, 12, that is maximum.
In a whole day?
In a whole day.
This is just morning and I can see more than 10.
No, the thing is, you are always seeing the car that is many, but how we divide the money is quite different.
You are not the only person watching it.
No, I'm not. It's somebody that owns this place.
Okay.
You understand? Each car you watch is 500 naira. Your own percentage is 250 naira.
Okay.
So the owner of the place owns 250.
Okay, that's fine. That's fantastic. At least he has given you an opportunity to get something for yourself too. And he has provided a place for you to come and work too. So I think he's doing well.
He's doing well.
Okay.
He's doing well. Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, I think your manager is doing well too.
Manager is doing well. Yes, right. He's doing well.
Thank him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your street gang, David and
Miriam.
Abuja now. As it happen so.
Yes, it happened. It happened. I don't see him.
It happen.
I don't see it happen. It happened.
Thank you.